Good evening, good evening, good evening. Another beautiful Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's okay. Everybody's having a good week so far. May the Most High blessing each and every one of you, not only in the spirit, but also in the body to keep you healthy. Um, Tonight's class is going to be about what we should do and how the words by the way are not just things that we say when we hang out with each other. By the way, is something in the scriptures that is read and many times overlooked throughout the scriptures, that we just skip through scripture and don't see certain things. How the same, by the way, when we talk about things that are fun to us, amusing, funny, or we don't regard in the same light as important as the scriptures have an importance, because by the way is the last thing that we say, or one of the things that we say to change subjects or to leave someone with something that we have on our mind to transmit to them, right? So let's start, right, by the meaning of the word or the phrase or the colloquial saying, by the way, right? And in the Webster Dictionary, it says that it's used to introduce a topic not directly connected with what was being spoken about previously. And it happened to me today. Brother Daniel, we're having a whole conversation, and then instead of saying, by the way, I just went into a whole different tangent. So it's like he's asking me, how did we get from this? How do you get that from this? And it's like I lacked sometimes good timing, right? And good timing is important. And that's why everything that happens to us with patience and willingness of the Most High is not by happenstance. It happens by the way of the Most High wants it to happen, right? The second definition of by the way, or the colloquial saying, is during something that happens during the course of a journey. Now, we all in the chat, every single one of you, from Yawakana, Sister Wanawana, Daya Kadash, Sister Bathaya, Issachar Princess Destiny, Birdlow, every single one of you, right? We are all on the journey. We walk, we wake up, we do prayer, and I hope y'all do. Do prayer before leaving outside your door. You recite Psalms 121 before you go on your journey, so that the sun does not smite us by day, nor the moon by night, right? And that the Most High keep us going out that outdoor and to come back home, because that's one of the curses that we have on, that we would not be safe neither in the city or in the so-called country, meaning outside the city. But by the way whereof he spake unto us, right? He spake unto us all the time with these words. And let's start. Let's start with Genesis chapter 45, right? Genesis chapter 45, verse 1, right? And it reads, then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, because every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And this is during the time where a while after, all his brothers, like all the sons of Jacob, which are the 12 tribes, because of a dream that Joseph had, that all his other brothers would come and serve him or bow to him more precisely. So I'm not incorrect in my speech. They bowed to him in a dream because that's what he was told by the Most High, right? So after he had been thrown in jail, and he was interpreting dreams for the warden in jail, and went all the way up to become what we call a vizier or the second in command to Pharaoh, right? We come to this point where his brothers who had sold him, right, come to Egypt because there was a situation where there was a drop of food. So they needed to go to Egypt to get food. And by the same way that everybody was going to get food, his brothers had to come and submit themselves or humble themselves to come and get food, right? And we keep reading Genesis 45, verse 2. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the Pharaohs heard, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore, be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For Yahweh did send me before you to preserve life. So by him being sold, there was all a plan in the Most High, right? To preserve Israel. But all the other 11 tribes, they was in their feelings. Are we gonna bow down to Joseph, the youngest one? No, that's not right. So they sold him, right? Verse 6, for these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And Yahweh sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but Yahweh, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his house, and ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 9, haste ye, go up to my father, and say unto him, thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. Meaning, come straight down. So basically, I'm going to keep reading, but this whole situation is Joseph saying, by the way, I'm over here. Most High sent me, Most High put me in position. By the way, I'm over here. Regardless if we are sold or captured or put in straits, we still need to do this work. This is Genesis, sister, correct, princess. This is Genesis 45, and we have verse 10, right? Right? Verse 10, and thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flock, and thy herds, plural, and all that thou hast. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty. So Most High is telling us, don't worry about what you're going to eat tomorrow. Well, because way back when, by the way, the Most High fed us in the wilderness, fed us during the time of Joseph, when he was so-called vizier, or second in command in Egypt. He made sure that the remnant of our people, the 12 tribes, survived this famine. Right? Verse 12, and behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. And ye shall tell my father that of all my glory in Egypt, and all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. Right? And he fell upon his brother's Benjamin's neck and wept. And Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren and wept upon them. After that, his brethren talked with him, and the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, say unto thy brethren, this do ye, lade your beasts and go, get you unto the land of Canaan. So by the very fact that Joseph went through all that, right, for Most High's sake, for even before he knew it, for his brother's sake, it softened Pharaoh's heart to give more than they needed to go back home with. Now we understand that if it wasn't for the Most High, our people wouldn't be here. But people don't realize how many times the Most High helped us. And it seems to be happenstance. So something that happened in a way that seems, by chance, but it's not by chance. Everything happened in a sequential manner. But people will say, by the way, this happened, that happened, that happened. And those are the times when you should realize, wow, Most High got me, man. Most High be looking out. It's just we don't see it, or we are not in the spirit to be able to visualize what he's doing for us. But that's when faith comes in to bridge that gap, to bridge our walk between one side of the Grand Canyon to the other. Keep going. Verse 18, and take your father and your households and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. That means the best choice foods, the best cuts. You go to anybody that been to the butchers and goes to a good butcher that you ask for specific cuts and they cut it for you. It's an experience, but it shows you, damn, I get to choose what parts that I like. And they got the best choice meats, vegetables, and everything. Right? We keep going. Verse 19. Now, thou art commanded, this do ye, take your wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father and come. Also regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours. You see how the Most High just opened Pharaoh's heart to just give? Just, all right, give. Right? But later on in Exodus, Most High gonna close that door to show that we should be let go. We should be on our way, right? Verse 22. No, verse 21. And the children of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment, which is new clothes. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of raiment. He gave him more. He gave money and more clothes to Benjamin. And to his brother he sent after this manner 10 asses, and to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses laden with good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way. Right? So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, see that ye fall not out of the way. And that is deep, because whatever we receive from either our own people or from the enemy, it should not sway us to go astray like Ahaz or like some of the kings of Israel. We should not go left or right. Yeah, Most High might bless us through the nations, but as long as we remember, it's the Most High that did it, not the nations that gave us what they want. The Most High that opened, that pulls the reins, that controls the hearts of men, like bridle on a horse. The same way a Nimrod, a Babylonian, whose name was the breaker of horses, the same way the Most High is even greater than that, because he has the reins of every creature and every person upon the earth. So who are we to say, oh, it's so-called, like Ahaz did. Oh, it was the Assyrians that helped us, so we're going to go pray in their temple. Not supposed to do that. And some of us do that on a mental level, where we are in situations in parties, after work gatherings, and we are, by the way, of these other nations around us that are around us, but we are in situations where, like, damn, I have to leave, but I just got here, and I don't want to be, I don't want to seem like I'm not a team player, right? Or you're in a situation where you feel like you need to pray, because just like in the Old Testament, as we went out of Egypt, Amalek came against us, Moab came against us, right? But as long as we kept the Most High in our minds and not be tempted to go by the way of these other nations, then we are good. Sometimes we need to go into that temple, like go into that temple in our minds and be like, and we see the Ark of the Covenant, we see the pillars and all the semi-precious stones, and we just bow to the Most High in our minds and just, pray. And sometimes I even think that our people just, when we hear a noise, right? We hear a noise in the house, and we stop moving for a second. Might as well pray at the same time, because we hear a bang or something falling. Like, I'm alone in the house. Why is something falling? Right? We just might as well just, I don't like this, and we listening. We're like, what's going on? Yeah, we should pray and be like, go in the temple, boom. Go in the temple in our mind and just pray to the Most High. Look at the Ark of the Covenant. Look at the cloud that's coming down, and just speak our mind, right? Now, let's keep going. Let me see. Verse 25. And they went up out of Egypt and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor of all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. So he was governor, right? Verse 27. And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. So that shows to us that the young provide energy to the elders. Because we can see that just hearing the news that is so significant revived Jacob, his father. Hearing the news that Joseph was yet alive, Jacob got revived. And Israel said, it is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die. So we could see that Jacob is Israel, by the way. And also that when we get news that seem insignificant for one person is very important for another. So we should not withhold information that's beneficial for not only for our people, but throughout our journey, because we don't know what that news is going to bring about. And most of us, we pray to the Most High, but we don't know what the Most High, how the Most High moves with those prayers. So might as well, when we have a thought that speaks of by the way in our mind, just bring it out. As long as it keeps the commandments, and as brothers will tell you, open rebuke is better than secret love. So say the word by the way should be a sounding bell to say what needs to be said. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 19, chapter 4, verse 19. Right? And it reads, and the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead, which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of Yahweh in his hand. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. So the Most High, like I said before, Most High, he be controlling people's hearts one way or the other way, like a horseman on a horse who is able to pull the bridle at the horse's mouth and to lead him wherever he desires, right? And that's anyone, right? Verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return to Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, and he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And we all know that the Most High, in his magnificence, right, he put a difference between Israel and the Egyptian. And again, here we see that the Most High don't share his love with other nations to the level he loves us. Keep going. Verse 23, and I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Now, why is that? Right? So give me 1 second. I had to go to my library here. Now that verse, right? If you read that verse and verse 25, is because, let me see, verse 24, right? Is because from other books, right? Gershom, there was and you could do your research on this, But there was a dispute between Jethro, his father-in-law, right? There was a dispute between Jethro, his father-in-law, and Moses about Gershom being circumcised, right? And I'm going to bring the excerpt to show you that. This is from a book. If y'all want to know the title, y'all just send me a message and I'll tell you what the book is, right? And it reads, this is the same, from the same verse in Exodus. It reads, and I'll read again, Exodus chapter 4, verse 24. And it came to pass, by the way, in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Now, from the other excerpt, it reads, but it was on the way in the place of lodging that the angel of the Lord met him and sought to kill him, because Gershom his son had not been circumcised, inasmuch as Jethro his father-in-law had not permitted him to circumcise him. But Eliezer had been circumcised by an agreement between them two. Now, verse 25, and Zipporah took a stone and circumcised the foreskin of Gershom, her son, and brought the severed part to the feet of the angel, the destroyer, and said, the husband sought to circumcise, but the father-in-law obstructed him. And now let this blood of the circumcision atone for my husband. So, because there was a dispute between the father-in-law, right, and Moses about Gershom being circumcised, an angel came. So it seems to be insignificant, right? But it's not insignificant to the Lord, to the point that a destroyer was sent. A destroyer was sent, an angel was sent, right? And the destroying angel desisted from him, so that Zipporah gave thanks and said, how lovely is the blood of the circumcision that hath delivered my husband from the angel of destruction. So what seems to be, like, to us, insignificant, those little things are very important, because according to law, as we are all kings and priests, right? If you're not circumcised, you cannot preach upon the altar. You can't do it. And Gershom was the son of Moses, a Levite. So he had to do it. This is not optional. And that shows us that what seems to be small is a great thing, especially when we want to please the Most High, to please the Most High God in the things that we do. In the things that we do. So might as well do it with gladness in our hearts. Because yes, Sister Matthias, he controls everything. He controls everything. Most High controls everything. So might as well just not do it because you have to. Do it because you want to. And you take pleasure in it. All praises. All praises. Right? Verse, let me see. Now let's go to the King James again. So verse 26. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. And the Lord said to Aaron, go in the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of Yahweh and kissed him. Right? And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people, and the people believed. And when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their head and worshiped. So if it wasn't for Zipporah, right? And wisdom is a female trait. Zipporah, right? They wouldn't have been able to move forward. Right? They wouldn't have been able to move forward. So Zipporah did a great thing by the way thereof. Because if you didn't, the destroyer would have started laying waste. And God be praised that that didn't happen. And following that, all the miracles was done. We know the rest. Most High delivered Israel through all the miracles and put all these Egyptian gods to shame. So as such, what is said, by the way, is of great meaning and importance. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 25. And let's start at verse 7. Let's go to verse 17. And it reads, remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. After everything we went through, after the circumcision, after Moses going with the rod and delivering the people through by the will of the Most High, putting all these nations, all these Egyptian gods to shame, the moment we got out, what happened? Deuteronomy 25 verse 17. Remember what Amalek did. And Amalek is the so-called Jewish man. Remember them small hats, what they did. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. How he met thee, by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee. So we could conversate with each other and say, yo, by the way, this, that, and the third. But he came to meet us. They came to us. We didn't go to them. How he met thee, by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee. That means the ones that we was running away from them, and they was killing the people that was in the back of the troop. Even all the feeble, even all that were feeble behind thee. When thou wast faint and weary, he feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about. We are surrounded, but the Most High got us. We are surrounded, but the Most High got us, right? Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. We're not supposed to forget nothing what these Amalekites do. So-called Jewish man did. We're not supposed to forget nothing. They want to put blue squares on TV screens and claim that they're being persecuted. They don't know what persecution is, man. They don't know nothing about persecution. But they are the, according to scripture, they are the ones that came against us as soon as we came out of Egypt, man. There was one of the nations. Man. They were killing people that were feeble, weak, and the old. They didn't care. What scripture say? They did tear perpetually. They tore perpetually, and they never stopped. But we have our own mission to do. Things that the Most High demand of us. And this goes to Deuteronomy 6 and 4, right? Even right? And it reads, Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, right? That it may be well with thee, and that ye may be increased mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 4, this is the creed, the Shema of Israel. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God possesseth is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. That means that if you love the Most High with everything you got, you become a fire, a flame, a representation of the Most High upon the earth. Because the temple is in you, so that light will shine upon you. A lot of us, new people that come in to watch this video, I hope many of you understand there's steps to this journey. By the way, like we said before, by the way is a term used to represent our journey, right? Represent our journey. And it is used to introduce a topic not correlated or connected to what is being said or talked about. So we have to be wary of the things that we say, because we're always in the presence of the Lord, because the temple is in us. So what we say should not be things of evil against other people. And by the same token, we should not allow things to be said that are not right or all right according to Scripture. But we are the fruit of our actions, so we should teach that same fruit and how it should be taught to each one of us, sisters, brothers to sisters, sisters to sisters, sisters to children, brothers to children, elders to young men, and so on and so forth, right? Because the fruit has to propagate. It has to be fed to all of our people by the way whereof, right? And thou shalt love thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. You walking, you're supposed to, by the way, man, you're a king, you're a priest. Proverbs, Song of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon says that basically a heart filled with mischief wisdom cannot abide by. So wisdom cannot enter a heart full of mischief, and so on and so forth. And it's like, you see, you doing all these things, you're gonna get caught up, man. You're gonna get caught up, and you're gonna be in a situation that you're not gonna enjoy. So I'm here, by the way, to tell you what it is, to tell you to stop what you're doing. You want some advice? You want some wisdom? I got wisdom for you. Pull out your sword, pull out your Bible from your cargo pants, from your purse, from your backpack, from your what we call fanny pack, whatever you got, man. Even a small little New Testament Bible. Do what you need to do to bring about greatness in others. Because we plant seeds wherever we go. Might as well do it in earnest and in love of the Most High. Now, let's keep going. Verse 8, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as a frontlet between thine eyes. And I have a question. From that verse 8, has anyone ever felt when you prayed that you could feel something in your forehead just moving forward, like a small little pressure point? That's not, I'm asking in sincerity, right? And this is where that comes from. That you are so focused and you pray that thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. Right? Verse 9, thou shalt write them upon thy posts of thy house and upon thy gates, and it shall be, when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, which is Israel, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildedst not, and houses full of good, of all good things, which thou fillest not. Because why? When we left Egypt, we was grabbing gold, everything that was valuable, cattle, everything. So it's the Most High that gave us all these things. It's the Most High that gave us all these things. Now, when the Most High, and why Yahweh shall come back the same way, we're gonna leave America and we're gonna take everything that's value with us. Everything of value with us. And we're gonna see brothers say, by the way, I want that pot. I want that car. By the way, I want that gold. I want that silver. I want that iridium. By the way, I want the most valuable thing in your house, including you, so-called white man. We're gonna say words that is gonna hurt and affect people, but open rebuke is better than secret love, right? And wells digged, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And that's how our people should always remember. Because a lot of us, when our stomach is full, we tend to forget the Most High. But Most High don't forget us. Because we, like Ahaz did in the scriptures, he just closed the temple and started going in the whole other direction. That's why we have to respect and give appreciation to people like Zipporah, that like Phineas, right? Who killed a Midianitish woman and a brother, and it's unfortunate for breaking the law so that our people could survive. Now, let's keep going. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8. Right? And wisdom is taught. Everybody learns wisdom through oral tradition, right? As it was in the beginning, as it was in Genesis, and until the law was written on tablets and it was then given to Moses. Until then, oral tradition and wisdom was a powerful gift, a powerful, I would say, a beautiful woman to behold. You would look at wisdom and be like, dang. And it was not something that you would give or freely you would freely give to just anyone, right? Especially not the other nations, right? But to our people, even Yahushua, right? He told the secrets to the disciples, but to the common man, right? He would give them what they needed. They had to go seek it out. They had to go understand it. They had to go on their own journey to understand the truth, or stay with Yahushua and understand wisdom, and go through the trials and tribulations. Because wisdom is according to scripture, is a woman. Is a woman. It has a womanly beauty about it. But she's gonna put you through the ringer, and that's okay. That's okay, right? So Proverbs chapter 8, and it reads, "Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the hills of the paths. She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart." Meaning you have to open yourself. A lot of our people are basically concrete that's been covered by the so-called, they're basically fertile ground covered by the concrete of the so-called white man. And sometimes we have to use a jackhammer to get to our people. It's not by happenstance that wisdom tends to comfort us in times of pain and anguish and sadness, because that's the time where the concrete start to break. These adages and beliefs that we have start to break down, and then that's when our people, Israel, we go by the way and we teach and we drop a seed here and there, because that person is in the dire straits. It'll be easy, and the scriptures tell us Most High is easy to make a man rich, but Most High's wisdom is more valuable than the gold of Ophir, more valuable than anything upon the earth. While everybody is running here and there like headless chickens, just going berserk, we got wisdom, and the wisdom we have shall be the stability of our time. It's the stability, meaning we won't be unstable or double-minded. We won't be unstable and double-minded. Verse 4, "Unto you, man, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge." So we have to go find knowledge. Yeah, it could be laid at our feet, but when we go seek it out, we tend to absorb it better. We tend to have an appreciation for it better. That's why the loss, sometimes when we have a loss or something that we lost, it's the best time to soak it in, because we are on the sidelines taking a rest from this marathon, just sitting down and just contemplating. And brothers that love you, they will pick you up. You can't stop. Can I just take a break? You can take a break, but you can't stop. You can't. We have to keep walking. We'll walk slower. We'll take our time, but you gotta keep pace at the very least, right? Verse 10, "Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it." All the things to be desired are not to be compared to it. Now, Watch this. Right? So let me see. Let's keep going. No, Salah. Let me go to Isaiah. Go to Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12, right? And it reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. So there are a lot of people chasing money, chasing wealth, but not understanding that you yourself, by the way, are worth $400 and upwards of $500. Why? Because you are made with the Most High blessing, melanin, and melanin cannot be found in nature. It can't be found in plants and stuff like that. It has to be drawn out from our people's bodies. Like we saw on Dr. Oz or, Dr. Phil, whoever, you've seen that white woman that had you could see she was a white woman. She had brown skin. And they asked her, how you get that? Because she said literally she gets melanin treatments. She grabs melanin from black people that are dead or dying, and she injects it into her body. She's like, it proves that we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. Yes, she looked horrible. That woman, she looked like a freak from Barney's, but Ripley's Believe It or Not. In a few years, you're going to see her on that show. Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'm saying she's going to be an oddity in a glass. The same way they made our women to be an oddity, having a curvaceous bodies and curvaceous, shapes of their bodies to keep it PG. The same way they did to our women is the same way we're going to do to them. We're going to have a whole a wax figure looking like, this is that woman. She thought she could go and become black by, taking melanin from our people and injecting it into herself, and she's going to be put in the glass somewhere, maybe downtown in Manhattan at Madame Tussauds. I don't know. Hey, they have a penchant and a demented mind, a reprobate mind, man. But let's keep going. Right? Now let's go to Tobit, chapter 13, verse 17. And it reads, and the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl and carbuncle and stones of Ophir. Now, why am I bringing that out? Is because we put gold at a high esteem and put money and all these things at high esteem. Money is a necessity, but we don't need it to live. It's a blessing to be able to work, but it's a greater blessing to have wisdom, understanding, the grace of the Most High as the people of God. Not everybody's a people of God. And the fact that gold, as it reads here in the book of Tobit, in the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl, carbuncle, and stones of Ophir. Now, stones of Ophir, we just read that the gold wedge and gold comes out of Ophir. So those streets that you see in The Wizard of Oz and in the movie Wicked, and I suggest nobody watches that movie because it's not even worth the time, right? It's going to be laden with beautiful jewels. And we're going to be walking right on beryl. And beryl has a significance according to scripture. And carbuncle is a symbol of divine favor. And it was the symbol of one of the stones on the ephod. It was one of the stones on the breastplate, not ephod, on this breastplate. It was one of the stones on the breastplate. And it signified divine favor beauty, glory of God. And the roads will be paved with this and with precious gems and jewels and from Ophir. Now, what about beryl? Right? What about beryl? Let's go and see. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 16. Right? And it reads, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of the wheel, right? And that's describing, heavenly creatures. So the beryl, and also it was in the book of Daniel, it explains what garment that Yahushua was wearing. It was made of the beryl. So it's saying that Yahushua, in all greatness that he is, he's a heavenly being. So all those things that seem insignificant are very important. And these are the things that when we hear that voice, by the way, tell him this, tell him that. When you're in the spirit, it's for a reason that's being said, because that might be the one thing that you tell that person that might break ground and destroy the concrete of Esau upon their minds. That puts a seed in their minds, put a seed in their spirit to love the Lord, as in the Shema, as in Deuteronomy 6:4. Now, let's go back to Proverbs chapter 8. And let's go to verse 11. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not compared to it. Why is that? Proverbs 31. Go to verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. So wisdom is compared to a woman. Verse 11, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. No need of spoil. Verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Now, is it talking about wisdom as a woman or wisdom, period? I leave that to the ladies. I leave that to spread that abroad, and for the pollen of that wisdom, that bit of wisdom that is in the scriptures, let it pollinate every flower, every lily every lily and daughter of the Most High, for them to become lilies and not roses with thorns. Read that again. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool, which keeps you warm, and flax, which makes linen, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. Hey, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So it's talking about wisdom. So I'm praying that these words reach every lady, every sister in this chat, and that y'all share this video so that other women, other sisters can understand that. Like, listen, this is what the Most High wants for you. And once you do those things, whatever you desire is going to come upon you. The man of the Lord, blessings of the Lord, and everything the Lord gives y'all multiply. It's just, I hope the sisters Do not listen to every voice that speaks to them by the way. But by the side of the road, at Costco, at Wawa, at Barnes and Nobles, at Bloomingdale's or H&M, wherever. It don't matter. I pray that the Most High put the spirit on y'all to get this message out, either through this video or through your own means, to show these sisters that wherever they want is at their fingertips. Because the Most High wants to proliferate his people. He wants to multiply his people, multiply his children, multiply his firstborn, and second, all his children, whichever order they are. But it has to be done in righteousness. It has to be done with the right intentions behind it, with the right love and appreciation behind it. Now, Proverbs, let's go back to Proverbs chapter 8 and let's go to verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way. And the froward mouth do I hate. And that's very important. Why? Because when I was younger, I was taught, before you speak, turn your tongue in your mouth 7 times. You need reflect, 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 reflect. Reflect again, and then speak. Don't just speak because you can, right? Just think about what you're about to say. Yeah, offenses shall come, but if we put wisdom forward first and not our own feelings, and we gonna rock with each other, we're gonna become great. Especially because when we go to pray, we don't say any type of thing to the Most High. We might say, Most High, I'm angry, I'm not happy with you, but we don't say evil words or evil things before the Most High. And the temple of the Most High within us. So we must watch what we say, right? Now, let me see. Verse 14. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. Right? By me, kings reign and princes decree justice. By me, princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Right? Riches and honor are with thee, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold. People say, I need gold to go buy food. I need money to go buy this, that, and the third. Verse 19, my fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of judgment. That's amazing. Now, verse 21, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance. Wait, it didn't say gold, it said substance, meaning that you inherit something that you could reproduce over and over and over again. And I will fill their treasures. We got coffers we want to fill. Who in the chat want everything that's coming to them and more? I want to know. Brothers want to know who's that girl, and sisters want to know who that brother is. Yes, everything that you want that's coming to you is easy to get. But we got to spread the word by the way. Everywhere we go, by the way, you're a child of God. You should, read Deuteronomy 28, read Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter, let me see, 29, verse 11. Let me see. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. It's beautiful, man. But we don't need to worry. But to be able to eat, we have to plant. Wherever the Spirit tells you to plant, especially if it's our people, especially you feel that you vibe with the Spirit that they have, you vibe with them, you know they're Israel, you discover that Israel through conversation, you plant a seed, bang, bang, by the way. So, because these curses are hurting us. They are. Because in our people did the Most High choose to establish his covenant. But he has a controversy with us. He has a controversy with us. We're not drinking anything inside his Most High's bonds. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. So thus, we can't eat. We have to plant. We have to spread the word, which is our fruit in the Spirit. And that's to many people, that is the words of these scriptures are minor to our people. And some will cherish it. Some will accept it wholeheartedly. Some might take time, like myself. It took me time, but I didn't let go of the plow. I didn't let go of the work. Not gonna lie, there are certain days I was like, man, this is tough, man. This is rough. But it's like it's brothers that kept me going, that fed me here and there with the right words at the right time. And it will come a time too, sisters and brothers, children will need to hear those words from you. And wisdom is a ring that circumvents the earth. So that means that the wisdom that we speak from the scriptures might end up in a place that we did not expect it to end up. But that's not up to us to decide where it's going to go. We just have to do our work in season or out of season, by the way, every day. Right? So with that, I thank y'all for your time, and I hope to see y'all next week for another Wednesday night class. I wasn't going to take too much of your time. Hopefully I see y'all again, Most High willing. Also, always view the temple in your minds. Always see the temple when y'all pray until you feel the middle of your forehead, the tefillin, I believe is the word, or focus is there for you when you pray, to the point that you feel a slight pressure in your frontlet. That's when you know you're praying in earnest. When you want something, right? When you desire something heavily enough, Most High but he wants to see how much you want. So how do you pray? Do you see the temple? Do you see the ark? Do you see the light coming through through the heavens, coming down on the ark? Do you see the cloud above the cherubims? What do you see? Or do you see white space? No, you have to see it. See it, envision it, and behave as such when you pray to the Most High. All right, so with that, I say thank you for listening to me ramble on sometimes. Share this video and Kwam Yashala. Thank you for all the sisters and brothers that have been here. Shalom.